but still I'm cold blood.
Mrs. Simmons. Mrs. Simmons is my mother, but she has guests this afternoon. Who wants her? Oh, wait just a minute. Hang on just a minute. Psst, Mother. Psst, Mother.
Yes, dear?
Telephone.
Oh, no, dear, not with all them in there. Dear, say I'm busy.
Mother is the society editor of the Evening News
Oh, the
Beat.
society editor. She's very important. Good afternoon, Miss Elwood. This is Vita Simmons. Yes, a teen reception for the members of the Wednesday Forum. Oh, you might say program team. My mother, you know, the late Marcella Penny Dow, pioneer cultural leader. She came here by Ox team as a child, and she founded the Wednesday Forum. Myrtle, how many would you say?
75 at least. Say 100.
75. Miss Tewksbury is the soloist, accompanied by Wilton McCurdy, accompanist.
Mother, come on. She's almost finished with her number.
She'll do an encore.
What if she doesn't give a lot of applause?
I've known her for years. She'll do an encore. You might say that I'm entertaining, assisted by my daughter, Miss Myrtle May Simmons. Myrtle, what color would you call that?
Rancho Rose, they told me.
Miss Myrtle May Simmons, such charming and modish Rancho Rose-toned crepe. Oh, I wish you could see her, Miss Ellerby.
Mother, come on. She's almost finished. And where's the cateress?
Everything's ready. The minute she's finished singing, you open the dining room doors and begin pouring. The parlors and halls are festooned with smilax. Yes, festooned. But that's right, Miss Ellerby. This is the first party we've had in years. There's a reason, but I don't want it in the papers. We all have our troubles, Miss Ellerby. The guest list. Oh, yes.
Mother, come.
If you'll excuse me a minute, Miss Ellerby, I'll call you back later.
Mother, the Chauvenet just came in.
It's Eugenia Chauvenet Sr. Her father was a scout of Buffalo Bill.
So that's where she got the rat?
Myrtle, you must be nice to Miss Chauvenet. She has a grandson about your age.
Well, what difference will it make with Uncle Elwood?
You promised not to talk about that this afternoon. The point of this whole party is to get you started. We work through those older women to the younger group.
Well, we can't have anyone here in the evenings. And that's when the men come to see you? In the evenings? The only reason we're able to have a party this afternoon is because Uncle Elwood's playing pinochle at the 4th Avenue Firehouse. Oh, thank God for the firehouse.
I know, but they'll just have to invite you out sometime. It won't hurt them one bit. Oh, Myrtle, I don't care what anyone says. There's something sweet about every young girl. And a man takes that sweetness, and look what he does with it. I just gotta meet somebody, Myrtle. That's all there is to it.
If I do, they say, that's Myrtle May Simmons. Her uncle is Elwood P. Dow, the biggest screwball in town. Elwood P. Dow and his pal.
Promised.
Right, let's get them into the dining room.
Now, when the members come in here and make your little welcome speech on behalf of your grandmother, be sure to do this.
And after that, I mention my Uncle Elwood and say a few words about his pal Harvey. Down, Harvey!
Perfect. That's right. But all the members of the Wednesday Forum here, you said that name. You promised you would say that name, and you said it.
Well, I'm sorry, Mother, but how do you know Uncle Elwood will come in and introduce Harvey to everybody?
Myrtle May, this is unkind of you. Your Uncle Elwood is the biggest heartache I have. Even if people do call him peculiar, he's still my brother. And he won't be home this afternoon.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure.
Mother, why can't we live like other people?
Must I remind you again? Uncle Elwood is not living with us. We are living with him.
Living with him in Harvey? Did Grandmother know about Harvey?
I've wondered and wondered about that. She never wrote if she did.
Mother, why did she have to leave all her property to Uncle Elwood?
I suppose it was because she died in his arms. People are sentimental about things like that.
You always say that, and it doesn't make sense. She couldn't make out her will after she died, could she?
Don't be didactic. It's not becoming a young girl and then loathe it. Now, don't forget to wave your hand.
I'll do my best.
Oh dear, Miss Tewksbury's voice certainly is fading.
Not fast enough.
Lovely, Miss Tewksbury. Perfectly lovely. I loved it.
Excuse me a moment. I have to answer the phone. Make yourself comfortable, Harvey. Hello? Oh, you've got the wrong number. But how are you anyway? Well, this is Elwood P. Dowd speaking. I'll do? Well, thank you. And what is your name, my dear? Miss Elsie Greenwald. Pardon, it's Miss Elsie Greenwald speaking. How are you today, Miss Greenwald? Well, that's fine. Yes, my dear, I would be happy to join your club. Well, I belong to several clubs now. The University Club, the Country Club, and the Pinochle Club down at the 4th Avenue Fire House. I spend a good deal of my time there, or over at Charlie's place, or over at Eddie's bar. And what is your club, Miss Greenwald? Yes. Oh. All right. I get the Ladies' Home Journal, Good Housekeeping, and the Open Road for Boys for 2 years for only $6.25. It sounds fine to me, Miss Greenwald. I'll join in. How did it sound to you, Harvey? All right. Harvey says it sounds fine to him also. He'll join in too. Yes, 2 subscriptions. Mail everything to this address. I hope I'll have the pleasure of meeting you sometime, my dear. Harvey, she says she'd like to meet me. When? When would you like to meet me, Miss Greenwald? Well, right, why not right now? My sister seems to be having a few friends over, and we would consider it an honor if you would come and join us. Oh, my sister will be delighted. 343 Temple Drive. I hope to see you in a very few minutes. Goodbye, my dear. Harvey, she's coming right over. Don't you think we'd better go freshen up? Oh, yes, yes. So do I.
I can't seem to find that guest list. I must read it to myself. Have you seen it, Miss Johnson?
No, I haven't, Miss Simmons.
And look on my dresser.
Mother, Miss Chauvenet, she's asking for you. Here's Mother, Miss Chauvenet. Here she is.
Vita Louise Simmons, I thought you were dead.
Aunt Ethel. Oh no, I'm very much alive. Thank you.
This full-grown girl is your daughter. I've known you since you were a baby.
I know.
What's your name, dear?
This is Myrtle, Aunt Ethel. Myrtle May. We're the 2 sisters of her father. He's dead. That's what confused you.
Where's Elwood?
He couldn't be here this afternoon.
Elwood isn't here.
No, let me get you some tea.
Shame on me. That was the main reason I came.
Come on, Ethel. There are loads of people anxious to speak with you.
Do you realize, Vita, that it's been years since I've seen Elwood?
No, where does the time go?
But I don't understand it. I was just saying to Mr. Chauvenet only the other night, what on earth do you suppose has happened to Elwood Dowd? He never comes to the club dances anymore. I haven't seen him at a horse show in years. Does Elwood see anybody these days?
Oh yes, Aunt Ethel. Elwood sees somebody.
Oh, yes. Your Uncle Elwood, child, is one of my favorite people. Always has been.
I remember.
Is Elwood happy, Vita?
Elwood's very happy, Aunt Ethel. You don't need to worry about Elwood. Why? It's Mrs. Frank Cummings. Just came in. Don't you want to speak with her?
My, she looks ghastly. Hasn't she failed?
If you think she looks badly, you should see her.
Is that so? I must have known her. She looked frightful. I thought she was dead.
Oh,
Now, what about you?
sir, you'll forgive me. I'll precede you.
Elwood! Elwood Dowd, bless your heart.
Aunt Ethel, what a pleasure to come in and find a beautiful woman waiting for me.
Oh, Elwood, you haven't changed.
Just come along, Aunt Ethel. You mustn't miss the party.
Here's punch if you don't like tea.
I do like tea. Stop pulling at me, you two. Elwood, what night next week can you come for dinner?
Any night at all, Aunt Ethel, I would be delighted.
Elwood, there's some mail for you today. I brought it upstairs to your room.
Oh, thank you, Rita. Well, that was nice of you. Aunt Ethel, I want you to be a part. As you you can see, he's a puka. Harvey, you've heard me speak of Miss Chauvenet. We always called her Aunt Ethel. She is one of my oldest and dearest friends. Oh, yes, that's right. She's the one. This is the one. He says he would have known you anywhere. Oh, you both look lovely. Come on in with me, Harvey. We must say hello to all of our friends. I beg your pardon, Aunt Ethel, if you'll excuse me for one moment.
What?
You're standing in his way. Come on, Harvey. Go right on in, Harvey. I'll join you in a moment. Aunt Ethel, I can see you're disturbed about Harvey, but please don't be. He stares like that at everyone. It's his way, but he liked you. I could tell. He liked you very much. Goodbye.
Some perhaps quiet. Not right now. Well, I think I must be running along.
But
I'm so sorry.
I'll be speaking to you soon. Goodbye.
Bye. Oh, God! Oh, my God!
Myrtle, where are you going?
To my room! He's introducing Harvey to everybody! I can't face those people now! I wish I were dead!
Come back here. Stay with me. We'll get him out of there and upstairs to his room.
Mother?
You've got to. Now, and let me put on your corsage. Pretend we're having a gay little chat. Keep looking. Keep smiling. When you catch his eye, tell me. He always comes when I call. And now, do you see him yet?
No, not yet. How do you do, Mrs. Cummings?
Have you no pride? Smile, can't you? I'm smiling. And he's my little brother.
Mother, people get run over by trucks every single day. Why can't something like that happen to Uncle Elwood?
I am ashamed of you. This thing is not your uncle's fault.
Ouch! Sticking that
That
head.
makes me excited. Keep looking. Keep smiling.
Mrs. Cummings is leaving. Uncle Elwood must have told her what Harvey is. Oh, God.
This is Vita Simmons. Should you come in the clothes you have on? What have you on? Should you what? May I ask who this is? But I don't know, Miss Greenwald. May I ask who invited you? Mr. Dowd, thank you just the same, but I believe there has been a mistake. Well, I never.
Never what?
One of your Uncle Elwood's friends. She asked me if she should bring a quart of gin to the Wednesday Forum.
There he is. He's talking to Miss Halsey.
Is Harvey with him?
To ask, how can I tell? How can anybody tell but Uncle Elwood?
Oh, Elwood, can I see you for a moment, dear? I promise you, your Uncle Elwood has disgraced us for the last time in this house. I'm going to do something I've never done before.
What did you mean just now when you said that this wasn't Uncle Elwood's fault? If it's not his fault, whose fault is it?
Never you mind. I know whose fault it is. Now, lift up your head and smile and go back in there as if nothing had happened.
You're no match for Uncle Elwood.
You'll see.
Mother's waiting for you.
Elwood, can I speak to you for a moment here?
Oh, yes, sister. Excuse me, Harvey.
Elwood, I want to talk to you. It's very important. Would you mind waiting in here for me until the party's over?
Of course, sister. I happen to have a little free time right now, and you're welcome to all of it, Vita. Do you want Harvey to wait too?
Yes, Elwood, I certainly do.
Jane Austen. Sit down, Harvey. Vita wants to talk to us. She said it was important. I think she wants to congratulate us on the impression we made at her party. It's Jane Austen. The deluxe edition. Limited. All right. Cross it and Dunmire. Oh, the usual acknowledgement. Oh, all right. Chapter 1. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be acknowledged.
Mrs. O.I. Simmons, 343 Temple Drive, is that right? We were born and raised there. It's old, but we love it. It's our home.
And you must 20 about the after sanitarium for treatment. Your brother's name?
It's... Oh,
Mrs. Simmons, what is your brother's name?
I'm sorry. Life has not been easy for any of us lately. I'll have to hold my head up and go on just the same. It's what I keep telling Myrtle, but Myrtle May keeps telling me. She's just heartbroken about her Uncle Elwood. Elwood P. Down. That's it.
Elwood P. His age?
He's 47, the 24th of last April. He's a Taurus. Taurus the bull. I'm Leo, and Myrtle's on a cusp.
47. Is he married?
No, Elwood never married. He always took his mother. He was a great homeboy. He loved his home.
You happy with me now?
Oh, he's in a taxi cab down the driveway. I gave the driver $1 to watch him, but I didn't tell him why. You can't tell these things to perfect strangers.
Wilson? George? Will you step up to the taxi in the driveway and ask a Mr. Brown if he can step up to room number 24, South Wing G?
Ask him.
This is his sister, Miss Simmons.
How did, why certainly, be glad to escort him.
Thank you.
Praise him, Miss Simmons. You'll find everything you need in
I think that will all be taken care of by my mother this evening. The late Marcella Penny Down. Judge Gaffney is our attorney.
And now I'll see if Dr. Sanderson can see.
Dr. Sanderson. I want to see Dr. Chumley himself.
Oh, Mrs. Simmons. Dr. Sanderson is the one who sees everybody. Dr. Chumley sees no one.
He's still head of this institution, isn't he? Well, he's still a psychiatrist, isn't he?
Still a psychiatrist. Dr. Chumley is more than that. He's a psychiatrist with a national reputation. When people have mental breakdowns, they are what to think of Dr. Chumley.
Well, that's his office, isn't it? Well, you march right in there and tell him I want to see him. If he knows who's in here, he'll come out here.
I wouldn't dare to serve with Mrs. Simmons. I would be discharged if I did.
Well, I don't want to be pushed off onto any second fiddle.
Dr. Sanderson is nobody's second fiddle. He's young, of course, and he hasn't been out of medical school very long, but Dr. Chumley tried out 12 and kept Dr. Sanderson. He really is wonderful. To the patients.
Very well. Tell him I'm here.
Right away.
Oh, Vida! Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, you startled me. I didn't hear you come in. You must be Dr. Sanderson?
Yes, will you be seated?
Thank you. I hope you don't think I'm jumpy like that all the time,
No,
but
of course not. Mrs. Hildy tells me there's some concern about your brother. Dowd, is it? Elwood P. Dowd?
yes, doctor. This isn't easy for me, doctor.
It's never easy with family members and patients, I understand.
What Elwood is doing to himself, doctor, that's the thing. Myrtle May has a right to nice friends, but she's young and she's got her whole life before her. That's my daughter.
Your daughter. How long has it been since you noticed any peculiarity in your brother's actions?
Well, I noticed it right away when Mother died and Myrtle May and I came home from Des Moines to live with Elwood. I could see that
That he what? Don't strain, Mrs. Simmons. I'll wait. Take your time to come.
Doctor, everything I say to you is confidential, isn't it?
That's understood.
Because it's a slap in the face to everything we've stood for in this community, the way that Elwood is acting now.
I'm not a gossip, Mrs. Simmons. I'm a psychiatrist.
Well, for one thing, he drinks.
To excess?
To excess. Well, wouldn't you call it excess when a man doesn't let a day go by without stepping foot into one of those cheap taverns, sitting around with riffraff and people you've never heard of, inviting them to the house, playing cards with them, giving them food and money, and here I am trying to get Myrtle May started with a nice group of young people. Well, if that isn't excess, I'm sure I don't know what excess is.
I didn't doubt your statement, Mrs. Simmons. I merely asked if your brother drinks.
Well, yes, I say definitely Elwood drinks. And I want him committed out here permanently because I cannot stand another day of that Harvey. We have to set a place at the table for Harvey. We have to move over on the sofa and make room for Harvey. We have to answer the telephone when Elwood calls and asks to speak to Harvey. Then at the party this afternoon with Miss Chauvenet there, I didn't even know anything about Harvey to begin with. But doctor, don't you think it would have been a little bit kinder of Mother to have written and told me about Harvey? Be honest now, don't you?
I really couldn't answer that question because
I can. Yes, it certainly would have.
This person you call Harvey, who is he?
He's a rabbit.
Perhaps. Just who is he? Some companion, someone your brother has picked up at one of these bars and whom you disapprove?
Doctor, I've been telling you, Harvey is a rabbit, a big white rabbit, 6 feet tall. Or is it 6.5 feet? Heavens knows I ought to know. He's been around the house long enough.
Now, Mrs. Simmons, let me understand this.
Doctor, I've been telling you, Harvey is a rabbit, a big white rabbit. He lives at the house with us. He and Elwood go everywhere together. Elwood buys theater tickets, railway tickets, for the both of them. As I told Myrtle May, if your uncle was so lonesome he had to bring something home, couldn't he have brought home something human? Well, he has me, doesn't he? He has Myrtle May, doesn't he? Doctor, I'm going to tell you something I've never told anybody in the world before. Every now and then I see that big white rabbit myself. Now, isn't that horrible? I've never told that to anybody, Doctor.
Mrs. Simmons.
And what's more, he's every bit as big as Elwood says he is. Now, don't you tell that to anybody, Doctor. I'm ashamed of you.
Now, Mrs. Simmons, I can see that you've been under a great nervous strain.
Yes, I certainly have.
Grief over your mother's death depressed you considerably.
Nobody knows how much.
Been losing sleep.
How could anybody sleep with that going on?
Short-tempered over trifles.
You just try living with those two and see how your temper holds up.
Loss of appetite.
How could anybody leave the table with my brother and a big white rabbit? Also, the house, the appointed conservator of Elwood's estate. Then Myrtle May and I will be able to entertain our friends in peace. Oh, it's too much, Doctor. I just can't stand it.
Of course it is, Mrs. Simmons. Of course it is. You're tired.
Oh, yes, I am.
You've been worrying a great deal.
I can't help it.
And now I'm going to help you.
Oh, Doctor.
Now just sit there quietly, Mrs. Simmons. I'll be right back.
I'll just step down in the taxi to get Elwood's things.
Why didn't anybody answer the buzzer?
I didn't hear you, Doctor.
I rang and rang. Mrs. Simmons, sound the call, Wilson. She must not leave. She's been a getaway, huh, Doc? Her condition is serious. Go after her.
I can't believe it, Doctor.
Main gate. Henry, Dr. Sanderson, allow no one under the main gate. We're looking for a patient. Should never have left her alone, but nobody answered the buzzer.
Wilson was in South, Doctor.
What if we available, Miss Kelly?
Number 13, Upper West R is ready, Doctor.
Have her sent there immediately, and I'll prescribe preliminary treatment. I must contact her brother. Dowd is the name. Elwood P. Get him on the phone, please.
But, Doctor, I thought that the woman was all right. I didn't know it was a woman who needed the treatment. She said it was for her brother.
Of course she did. It's the oldest dodge in the world, always used by a cunning type of psychopath. She clearly knew her brother was going to commit her, so she came out to discredit him. Get him on the phone, please.
But, Doctor, I thought that the woman was all right. So I had Wilson take the brother up to number 24 south of the Jeep. He's there now.
You did what? No gas. Please, Kelly, you're not serious, are you?
Oh, I did, Doctor. I did. Oh, Doctor, I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, well, if you're sorry, that fixes everything. Oh, no.
I'll do it, Doctor. I'll do it. Miss Dunphy? Will you please unlock the door to number 24 and give us your daughter's clothes and
Ask him to step down to the office right away.
ask him to step down to the office right away? There's been a terrible mistake and Dr. Sanderson wants to explain.
Explain? Apologize.
Thank heaven they hadn't put him in the hydrosol yet. Doctor, I feel terrible. I didn't know. Judge Gaffney called and said that Mrs. Simmons and her brother would be out here when she came out
Stop
there.
worrying. We'll squirm out of it somewhere.
Where are you going?
I've got to tell the chief about this. He may want to handle it himself.
He'll be furious. I know he will. He'll die and then he'll terminate me.
The responsibility is all mine.
Tell him it was my fault.
I never mentioned your name, except in my sleep.
This man, now.
Go after him. I'll be right back.
What shall I say to him? What shall I do? He'll be furious.
Well, he'll probably be fit to be tied, but he's a man, isn't he?
I guess so. His name is Mister.
Just that's your own routine. You know, the eyes, the switch, the words. I'm immune to it, of course, but I have seen it work on some people, some of the patients.
Oh, you are wonderful.
just the same.
What?
That's Simmons'
Did
name.
you catch her?
Sings the whistle. She was coming along a path with a little tune. I jumped at her from behind a tree. I said, "Sister, there's a man wants to see you." Should have heard her yell. She's wacky, all right.
Take her to number 13 on the west wall.
She's there now. I brought her through the night. And she is kicking and screaming like hell. I'll hold her if you come and dress her.
Give me a minute, Wilson. Dr. Sanderson told me to say it here until the brother comes out.
Make it snappy.
You're Mr. Dow?
Elwood,
I'm Miss Kelly.
let me give you one of my cards. You should want to call me. Call me at this one. Don't call me at that number, because that's the old one. Perfectly all right. If you lose it, don't worry, my dear. I have plenty more.
Won't you have a chair, please, Mr. Dow?
Oh, thank you. I'll have two. Allow me.
Dr. Sanderson is very anxious to talk to you. He'll be here in a minute. Please, be seated.
After you, my dear.
I really can't thank you. I've been in it all the time, but you must have heard me. Please, be seated.
After you.
Thought I'd get you a magazine to look at?
Oh, no, I'd much rather look at you that if you don't mind. You really are very lovely.
Thank you. Some people don't seem to think so.
Well, some people are blind. That has often brought to my attention. And now, Miss Kelly, I would like to have you meet
Mr. Dow?
Elwood. Let me give you one of my cards. Here. Let me give you one of my cards. You should want to call me.
Mr. Dow, I'm Dr. Lyman Sanderson, Dr. Chumley's assistant out here.
Well, good for you. I'm happy to know you. How are you, Doctor?
Well, that's going to depend on you, I'm afraid. Please, be seated. You've met Miss Kelly, Mr. Dow?
Oh, I have had that pleasure. And now I want the both of you to meet a very...
Later on. Be glad. Won't you be seated? Because first I want to say,
After Miss Kelly.
sit down. Is that chair quite comfortable, Mr. Dow?
Oh, yes, thank you. Would you care to try it?
No. Would you like an ashtray? Can we get Mr. Dow an ashtray? Is it too warm in here, Mr. Dow? Would you like me to open a window?
Mr. Dow, Dr. Sanderson wants to know if you should open the window.
Well, that's entirely up to him. I wouldn't presume to live his life for him.
Now, Mr. Dow, I can see you're not the type of person to be taken in by the high-flown phrases or beating about the bush.
Is that so, Doctor?
You have us at a disadvantage. You know it? We know it. Let's lay the cards on the table.
Well, that certainly appeals to me, Doctor.
The best way in love. People are people, no matter where you've been.
That is very often the case.
And being human are therefore liable to making mistakes. Miss Kelly and I have made a mistake here this afternoon, Doctor, and we'd like to explain it.
It wasn't Dr. Sanderson's fault, Mr. Dow. It was mine.
A human family, as I said.
I find it very interesting, Mr. Black. You and Miss Kelly here this afternoon, you said.
We do hope you understand, Mr. Dow.
Oh, yes, yes. I find these things are often the basis of a long and warm friendship.
And the responsibility is, of course, not hers, but ours.
Well, your attitude may be old-fashioned, Doctor, but I like it.
Now, if I had seen your sister first, that would have been an entirely different story.
Now, there you surprise me. I think the world in all of Vida, but I suppose she had seen her dead.
You must not attach any blame to her. She's a very sick woman. Came in here insisting you were in need of treatment. Now, that's perfectly ridiculous.
Vida shouldn't be upset about me. I get along fine.
Exactly. But she had already spoken to Miss Kelly, and there had been a call from your family lawyer, Judge Gaffney.
Oh, yes, I know him. Know his wife, too. Lovely people.
Is there something I can get for you, Mr. Dow?
What did you have in mind?
Light. Here, let me give you a light. Your Your sister was extremely nervous and plunged right away into a heated tirade on your drinking.
That was Vida.
She was hysterical.
I tell Vida not to worry about that. But I'll take care of that.
Exactly. Oh, I suppose you take a drink now and then, same as the rest of us.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I'd like one right now.
As a matter of fact, so would I. But your sister's reaction towards the whole matter of drinking was entirely too intense. Does your sister drink now?
Oh, no, doctor. I don't believe Vida has ever taken a drink.
Well, I'm going to surprise you. I think she has and does constantly.
I am certainly surprised.
Well, it's not her alcoholism that's going to be the basis for my diagnosis. No, it's much more serious than that. It was when she began speaking so emotionally about this big white rabbit. Harvey, yes, I believe she called him Harvey.
Well, Harvey is his name.
She claimed you were persecuting her with this Harvey.
Persecuting her with Harvey. Vida shouldn't feel that way. And now, doctor, before we go any further, I must
Sit
insist.
down. Let me make my point first. This trouble of your sister's didn't spring up overnight. It's much more serious than that. It stems from trauma.
From what?
Trauma. Spelled T-R-A-U-M-A. It means shock. Nothing unusual happened. There's birth trauma, shock to the act of being born.
That's the one we never get over.
You have a nice sense of humor, Mr. Dale. Hasn't he, Miss Kelly?
Oh, yes, Doc.
Well, might I say the same about the both of you?
To sum it all up, your sister's condition is serious, but I think. She will, however, need to be committed here temporarily.
I've always wanted Vida to have everything she needs.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't want Vida to stay out here unless she liked it out here and wanted to stay here.
Of course. Did Mr. Wilson get pretty wet after?
Yes, Doctor.
What was Mrs. Simmons' attitude to Miss Kelly?
Not unusual, Doctor.
So your sister will have to be committed here temporarily. Under these conditions, I would commit my own grandmother.
Oh, does your grandmother drink too?
No, it's just an expression. Will you sign these temporary commitment papers as next of kin? Just a formality.
Well, you better have Vida do that, doctor. She does all the signing and managing for the family. She's quite good at it, too.
Oh, but we can't disturb her now.
Perhaps I'd better talk it over with Judge Gaffney.
Well, you can explain it all to him later. Tell him I advised. And it isn't as if you could drop by and visit whenever you'd like. Glad to have you. When would you like to come back? Wednesday, say? Friday, say?
Well, you both have been so lovely, I can come back right after dinner. About an hour?
Well, we're pretty busy around then, but I guess that's all right.
I don't really have to go now. I'm not very hungry.
Delighted to have you stay, but Miss Kelly and I really do have to get upstairs. Plenty of work to be done. But I'll tell you what you might like to do.
Oh, what might I like to do?
Well, just to make sure in your mind that your sister is in good hands, why don't you have a look around? If you go through that door and make a right just beyond the stairway, you'll find an occupational therapy. Beyond that, the conservatory, the library, and the diary.
Well, for Vida's sake, I believe I'd better do that, Doctor.
Very well then. And very nice to have some chat with you, Mr. Dale.
I've enjoyed it too, meeting you and Miss Kelly here.
And I will say that for a layman, you show unusually acute perception into psychiatric problems.
Was that a fact? I never thought I knew anything about it. Nobody does, do you think?
Well, the good psychiatrist is not found under every bush.
You have to pick the right bush. Since we all seem to have enjoyed this so much, let us keep right on. I would like to invite you down to Charlie's to have a drink with me. When I enjoy people, I like to stay right with them.
Sorry, we're on duty. Give us a rain check. Later on, be glad.
When?
We don't get off duty until 10 o'clock.
Let us go to Charlie's at 10 o'clock tonight.
Well,
And you, Miss Kelly?
Dr. Chumley doesn't approve of members of the staff fraternize. I suppose since you've been so understanding, I guess we could make an exception.
Wonderful. I'll pick you up out here in the cab at 10 o'clock tonight, and the four of us will have a happy evening together. I want both of you to meet a very dear friend of mine. You said later on, so later on it shall be. Goodbye.
Whew! Now I can breathe again.
Boy, that was a close shave, all right. But he seemed to be a pretty reasonable sort of fellow. That man was proud. What he had to be proud of, I don't know. I played up to that pride. You can get to almost anybody if you want to.
Dr. Sanderson, you say you can get to anybody you want
Take study, Kelly. Years of specialized training. There's only one thing I don't like about this Dow business.
What's that?
Having to make a date. But of course, he's left here as a booster, a good friend of the sanitarium, so I guess I'll have to. But,
Oh,
no point in it. I'll go down to the bar, have a drink with him, and pat him on the back. I've got a date tonight anyway.
oh, yes, by all means. I didn't intend to go anyway. The idea bored me stiff. I wouldn't go if I never went anywhere again. I wouldn't go if my life depended on it.
What's gotten into you, Kelly? What are you so emotional about?
He may be a peculiar man with funny clothes, but he knows how to act. His manners were perfect.
I saw you giving him the dog puss stare. I didn't miss that.
He wouldn't sit down until I sat down. He told me I was lovely, and he called me dear. I would go to heaven if you weren't going.
Of course you would. And look at him. All he does is hang around bars. He doesn't work. All that corny bowing and standing up every time a woman makes a move. Why, he's as outdated as a cast-iron deer. But you go and sit in a bar and let him flatter you. You're a wonderful girl, Kelly.
Now let me tell you something. You
Dr.
know.
Sanderson, Miss Kelly.
Yes,
Tell the gardeners to be more carefully around the prize dahlias by the fence along the main road. They'll be ready for cutting next week. And this business of the woman with the big white rabbit has been smoothed over.
Yes, doctor. I spoke to her brother this afternoon, and he seemed quite reasonable.
Well, I've had many patients out here who've seen animals. I've never before had one with an animal that large.
Yes, doctor. She called him Harvey.
Harvey. Unusual name for an animal of any kind. Harvey was a man's name. Well, I've known many men by the name named Harvey. I've never heard of any animal with that name whatsoever. The case has some interesting phase, Doctor.
Yes, doctor.
I'll go upstairs with you and look in on this one. It may be that we can use my Formula 977 on it. I'll give you my advice in prescribing the treatment, Doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
And now, may I ask, what is this hat and coat doing on this table? Whose is it?
I don't know, doctor. Do you know Miss Kelly? Was it Dow?
the hat is not on lock. Perhaps it belongs to one of the patients.
Hand me that hat. There may be some sort of identification. See, what's this? What's this? See?
That's strange.
Some new bag. Take them away. Hang them up. Get them out of here.
Hello, Dr. Chumley.
Ah, Wilson, there you are.
Calendar is a little thing.
Fair. Thank you, Wilson. Fair.
Somebody is going to have to give me a hand with this Simmons dame. Or a restraining jacket or something. She's terrible. She's in the hiding tub now. God, I left the water running on her.
Lily, remember your promise. Hello, Dr. Sanderson. Lily, remember Dr. McCullough's cocktail party? We promised them faithfully.
Of course. I have to go upstairs now and see the patient. We'll be down shortly.
Give them a quick diagnosis, darling. I don't want to be late. I'm dying to be inside the house. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Mrs. Chumley, Dr. Chumley's wife.
I'm happy to know that. Dow is my name. Elwood, let me give you one of my cards. If you should want to call me at this one. Don't call me at that one, because that's the old one.
Thank you. Is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, what did you have in mind?
You seem to be looking for someone.
I am. I'm looking for Harvey. I went off without him.
Harvey. Is he a patient here?
Oh, no. Nothing like that.
Does he work here?
Oh, no. He's what you might call my best friend. He's also a hookah. He came out here with me in Vita this afternoon.
Where was he when you last saw him?
In that chair there with his hat and coat on the table.
Well, there doesn't seem to be a hat and coat lying around. Perhaps he left.
Apparently, I don't see him anywhere.
What was that word you just said? Pimp.
Well, yes, that's it.
Is that something new?
Oh, no. As I understand it, that's something very old.
Oh, really? And what happened? I never heard that before.
I'm not too surprised at that. I hadn't myself until I met him. Oh, I do hope you'll have the chance to meet him sometime, my dear. I'm sure he will be quite taken with you.
Oh, really? It's quite nice of you to say so, I'm sure.
Not at all. If Harvey happens to take a liking to someone, he expresses himself quite definitely. If he's not particularly interested, he sits there like an empty chair or an empty space on the floor. Harvey takes his time making his mind up about people. choosy, you see.
Well, that's not a bad way to be in this day and age.
Harvey is fond of my sister Vida. That's because he is fond of me, and Vida and I come from the same family. Well, now you'd think that feeling would be mutual, wouldn't you? But Vida doesn't seem to care for Harvey. Isn't that rather too bad, Mrs. Chumley?
Well, I don't know, Mr. Dowd. I gave up a long time ago expecting my family to like my friends.
But we must keep on trying.
There's no harm in trying, I suppose.
Because if Harvey has said to me once, he said it a million times. Mr. Dowd, I would do anything for you. Mrs. Chumley,
Yes.
did you know that Mrs. McElhinney's Aunt Rose is going to stop in on her unexpectedly from Cleveland tonight?
Why, no, I didn't.
Neither does she. That puts you both in the same boat, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know, Mrs. Mackle.
Mrs. McElhinney? She lives right next door to us. A wonderful lady. Harvey told me about her Aunt Rose. And that's an interesting little news item, and you are perfectly free to pass that around.
Well,
Mrs. Chumley, would you care to come downtown and have a drink with me now at Charlie's?
thank you, but I'm waiting on Mr. Chumley. If he finds me down here and he doesn't find me, he'll be liable to raise. He would be irritated.
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we? Some other time, perhaps?
I'll tell you what I'll do, however.
What will you do, however? I'm interested.
If your friend comes in while I'm still here, I'm glad to give him a message for you.
Would you do that? I'd certainly appreciate it.
Oh, no trouble at all. I'll go enough of this. If he comes in while I'm still here, what would you like me to leave him?
Ask him to meet me downtown. But if he has no other plans,
Meet Mr. downtown. Any particular place downtown?
he knows where. Harvey knows this town like a book.
Harvey. You know where. Harvey what?
Just Harvey.
I'll tell you what.
What?
Doctor and I are going downtown to 12th months away for Dr. McCullough's cocktail party.
Oh. Cocktail party at 12 and monthly. Thank you.
We'll be going there in just a few minutes. Be glad to have your friend who lives in town.
Might hate to impose, but I'd certainly appreciate it.
Oh, no trouble at all. Dr. McCullough's having a cocktail party for his sister's friend. Which,
Oh, I didn't know Dr. McClure had a sister in Wichita.
oh no, Dr. McCullough?
No.
But I
Mrs. Chumley, are you sure you haven't time to come downtown and have a drink with me?
really couldn't. But thank you just the same.
Some other time, maybe.
Thank you.
I really must be getting downtown, Mrs. Chumley, but it's been a pleasure to meet you. I hope to see you again sometime. Good night, Mrs. Chumley. You can't miss Harvey. He's very tall. It's like this. Good night.
That Simmons woman is uncooperative, Doctor. Refuses to admit she has this rabbit. Insists it's her brother. Give her 2 of these at 9. Another at 10 if she remains restless. Another trip to the hydro tub at 7 and 1 in the morning at 8. Then we'll see if she won't cooperate. Won't we, Doctor?
Yes, Doctor.
You know where to call me if you need me. Ready, Pat?
Yes, Willie, I know Willie.
Yes?
There was a man in here, a man named Dowd. Elwood P. Dowd.
That's Mrs. Simmons' brother, Doctor. I spoke to him this afternoon. Told me to look around. I gave him full visiting privileges.
She mustn't see anyone, not tonight. Tell him.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, he didn't come to see her. He was looking for someone.
Could that be, Dr. Sanderson?
I don't know.
He said it was someone he came in this afternoon.
Was there anyone with him when you saw him this afternoon, Miss Keller?
No, not when I saw him.
Well, he said there was. He said he was sitting over there, in that chair with his hat and coat. He seemed quite disappointed.
Dr. Sanderson?
I told him when we found his friend and gave him a lift in his town. He right in the back seat. Is that right, Willie?
Of course, of course.
His friend's name was Harvey.
Harvey.
He mentioned something else, something about him being a hooker, but I'm not quite sure what that means yet.
Harvey!
And he also said his friend was very tall. Oh, Willie, why are you looking at me like that, Willie? This is a nice man, polite man, who merely asked us to give his friend a lift into town. You can't do something nice for someone. Why are we living?
Where did he go, Mrs. Chumley? How long ago was he in here?
By George, we'll find out about this. Get me that hat!
Just give me a second.
Main gate. Henry.
Good afternoon. Judge Gaffney.
Did the man in the gray suit exit the main gate?
He did? He's gone?
Hello. Judge Gaffney. This is Dr. William Chumley, the psychiatrist. I'm calling to make a routine check on the spelling of a name before we enter it into our records. You called this afternoon about having a client of yours committed. How is that spelled? W, not U. Elwood P. Dow. Thank you, Judge. Dr. Sanderson. I believe that your name is Sanderson.
Yes, doctor?
You know that much, do you? You went to medical school, specialized in the field of psychiatry. You graduated, you went for it. Perhaps they neglected to tell you that a rabbit has large pointed ears, that a hat for such a rabbit would need large perforations for those ears.
I spoke to Mr. Dow this afternoon, and he seemed quite reasonable.
Dr. Sanderson, the function of a psychiatrist is to tell the difference between those who are truly reasonable and those who merely talk and act reasonably. Do you know what you have done to me? You don't answer. I'll tell you. You have allowed a psychopathic case to leave these grounds and roam about with an overgrown white rabbit. You have subjected me, a psychiatrist, to the humiliation of having to call, of all people, a lawyer to find out who came here to be committed and who came to commit.
Dr. Chumley,
Just a minute. Wilson, I want you. I'll now have to do something I haven't done in 15 years. I'll go out after this man, Mr. Elwood P. Dow, and I'll bring him back. And when I get back, your connection with this institution is ended, as of that moment. Wilson, get the car. Betty, call the McClures and tell them we can't make it. Miss Kelly, we will now go upstairs and get this woman out of the Harvey Club.
Yes, sir. I'm about to tell the cook we'll be home for dinner. She'll be furious. Wilson,
Yes, ma'am.
where's the puka?
What?
A puka.
You can search me, Mrs. Chumley.
I wonder if it's in one of these LPs here. Whether it's a lodge or what's his name? Oh, don't say I do this now. Thought Shelly finds me here. Oh dear.
Puka. P-O-O-K-A. From Celtic mythology, both a fairy spirit and animal form. Always very large, the puka appears here and there, and now and then, this one and that one at its own caprice. Puka is a wise but mischievous creature, very fond of rumpots, crackpots, and how are you, Mr. Wilson? How are you, Mr. Wilson? Who in the encyclopedia wants to know? To hell with it!
That's right. Stands at the end of the hall. It leads to the third floor. Go right up. I'll be with you in a moment.
Well, where is she?
Where is who? Who gave you Judge Gaffney? Sit down, won't you?
I mean your mother. Where's Vita Louise?
Why, Judge Gaffney, you know where she is. She took Uncle Elwood out to the sanitarium.
I know that. Well, I was called out to stand down at the club with a lot of hysteria. Couldn't even get what she was talking about. Carrying on something fierce.
But they're carrying on. What about?
I don't know. She was hysterical.
Well, that's strange. She took Uncle Elwood out to the sanitarium. All she had to do was put him in. Did you find it? I'll be right up. They found it.
Who found what? What are you talking about?
Well, when Uncle Elwood and Mother went out today, I went out to the real estate office to put the house on the market. And what do you think I found there?
I'm not a quiz kid.
Well, I found a man looking for an old house, just like this. Down at the buffet apartments. He's going through it now.
Now see here, Myrtle Man. This house doesn't belong to you. It belongs to Uncle Elwood.
You know that Uncle Elwood's locked up. Mother controls the property now, doesn't she?
Oh, where is your mother? Where is Vita Louise?
Judge Gaffney, she took Uncle Elwood out to Dr. Chumley's rest to tell him about Harvey and talk of Uncle Elwood.
Why did she call me down at the club in the middle of a game and scream at me to come meet her here about something important?
I don't know. I simply don't know. You got the deed to this house?
Certainly, it's in my safe. Look, Myrtle, I feel pretty bad about this whole thing of locking Elwood up.
Mother and I will be able to take a long trip now out to Pasadena.
I always liked that boy. He could have done anything. Been anything. Made a place for himself in this community.
All he did was get a big racket.
He had everything. Brains, personality, friends. Men liked him. Women liked him. I liked him.
Are you telling me that once Uncle Elwood was like other men, that women actually liked him? I mean, in that way.
Oh, not since he started running around with that big rabbit. But they did once. Once that mailbox of your grandmother's was filled with little blue-scented envelopes for Elwood.
I don't believe it.
Well, there always was something different about Elwood.
I don't doubt that.
Yes, he was always so calm about a sudden change in plans. I used to admire him. I should have been suspicious. Take your average man, looking up and seeing a big white rabbit. Now, he'd do something about it. Oh, but not Elwood. He took that calmly, too, and look where that got him.
You don't dream how far overboard he's gone on about this rabbit.
Oh, yes, I do. He's had that rabbit in my office many's the time. I may be old, but I don't miss much. What's that noise?
Oh, the prospective buyer on the third floor. Mother! Take her order, Judge. Look like she's gonna faint.
Steady, girl, steady. Please, not so fast.
Don't rush her, girl. Ease her in.
You're gonna be all right, Mother. You're gonna be perfectly all right.
Let me sit down. Want to get me someplace where I can sit down.
Oh, the gas.
Oh, my.
Go get us some tea, Myrtle. Would you like some tea, Vita?
I'll get you some tea, Mother. Get her a towel, Judge.
You go get her. Get her a towel. Would you like a towel, Vita?
Leave me alone. Let me sit here. Let me get my breath.
Better catch your breath, Judge.
Let me sit here a moment, and then let me get upstairs to my own bed where I can let go.
What happened to you, Mother?
Or I want you to sue them. They put me in and let Elwood out.
What's this?
Mother!
Just look at my hair.
Why? What did you say? What did you do? You must have done something.
I didn't do one thing. I simply told them about Elwood and Harvey.
Then how could it happen to you? I don't understand it.
I told them about Elwood and Harvey, and then I went down to the cab to get all these things. And as I was walking along the path, this awful man stepped out.
And what did he do, Mother?
What did he do? He took hold of me, and he took me in there, and then he...
Go on, Vita Louise, go on.
And then he sat me down in a tub of water.
For heaven's sake.
That place ought to be cleaned up, Omar. You better get the authorities to clean it up. You don't ever go out there, Myrtle May. You hear me?
This stinks to high heaven, Vita. By God, it stinks.
You've got to do something about it, Judge. You've got to sue them.
I will, Vita. By God, I will. If Chumley thinks he can run an unsavory place like this in the outskirts of town, he'll be publicly chastised. By God, I'll run him out of the state. Now, you said there were two doctors who came up to talk to you. Dr. Chumley and, what was the other woman's name?
Sanderson. But don't you pay any attention to anything he tells you. He's a liar. Besides, I told him something in strictest confidence and he blabbed it.
What did you tell him, Mother?
Let's forget it. What difference does it make? I don't even want to talk about it. You can't trust anybody.
Whatever you told this Dr. Sanderson, you can tell us, Vita Louise. This is your daughter, and I am your lawyer.
I know which is which. I don't want to talk about it. I want to sue them, and I want to get to my own bed.
Mother, this is the important thing. Where is Uncle Elwood?
I should have known better than to try to do anything about him. Something protects him, that awful Tuca.
Mother, answer me. Where is Uncle Elwood?
How should I know? They let him go. What's that noise?
I found a buyer for the house.
What?
Look, Mother, we've got to find Uncle Elwood. No matter who jumped at you, we've still got to lock up Uncle Elwood.
I don't know where he is. The next time you take him, Judge, or just wait until Elwood hears about this. He won't stand for it. Oh, don't forget to sue them, Judge!
See? Mother muffed everything He found out what she was up to, had her put in, then he ran.
Now don't talk like that. Your uncle thinks the world and all of your mother. Ever since he was a little boy, he always wanted to share everything he had with her.
I'm not giving up. We'll find him. We'll get detectives. And besides, you better save some of that sympathy for me and Mother. You don't realize what we have to put up with. Just wait till I show you something he brought out about 6 months ago when we hid it out in the garage. Just wait till I show you, Judge.
I'm going up to talk to Vita. There's more to this than she's telling. I sense that.
Just wait till I show you, Judge.
I'll wait.
Okay, is he here?
What? What's this?
That crackpot. It's a rabbit. Is he here?
No. Who am I asking? Are you?
Okay, the doctor's coming in. Anyway, what's your name?
Chumley. Well, I have something to say to him.
What's your name? Let's have it.
Judge Gaffney. Where is Chumley?
The reason I asked your name is the doctor always likes to know who he's talking to. This guy says his name is Judge Gaffney, Doctor.
Well, Chumley.
Good evening, Judge. Let's not waste any time. Has he been here?
Who, Elwood? No.
You sure he's been here? He's wise. He's hiding. It'll be an awful job to smoke him out.
It'll be more difficult, yes. They're sly, they're cunning. But I get them. I always get them. Is this by Ben Wilson?
Right here, Doctor.
Read it.
You've been to 17 bars. Eddie's Place, Charlie's Place, Betsy's Barn Dance, the 4th Avenue Firehouse, the 10th and 12th and 9th Avenue Firehouses, just to make sure. The Union Station, the grain elevator, and say, why does this guy go down with a grain elevator?
The friend, the foreman is a friend of his. He has many friends, many places.
We've come here to ask Mrs. Simmons if she has any more suggestions as to where we might look for her.
Now, Dr. Chumley, I regret to inform you that Mrs. Simmons has retained me to file a suit against you for what happened where the sanitarium set
A suit?
And furthermore,
This is pretty, ain't it, Doctor? I just dragged your tail all around town to find that guy.
Judge, what happened this afternoon was an honest mistake. I've already discharged my assistant who made it, and I'm prepared to take this case on personally. It interests me. My interest in the case is something no amount of money can buy. You can ask any of me.
with this business this afternoon, Doctor.
Water under the dam. Here's how I see the thing. I see it this way. The important thing now is to get the man to the sanitarium, where he belongs.
That's right, Judge. That's what I think.
Allow me to introduce Miss Myrtle Masons, Mr. Dowd's niece, Mrs. Simmons' daughter.
How do you do, Dr. Chumley?
Good evening, Miss Simmons.
I heard him.
What?
Let me see Mrs. Simmons.
Mother won't come down. I know she won't. You're trying to get Mother to talk to him, Judge.
Well, listen here, Myrtle May. Your mother was manhandled. She was... God knows what she was. The man's approach to her was not professional. It was personal.
Wilson, this is a serious charge.
Doctor, I've been with you for 10 years. You seriously believe... What is your name again?
Gaffney, Judge Omar Gaffney.
You take the word of this old blister, Gaffney?
Wilson!
Me and Dave who sees a rabbit.
It's not Mrs. Simmons who sees the rabbit. It's her brother.
Yes, it's Uncle Elwood.
Anyway, now so come with me, Doctor.
Very well. Wilson, I have a situation here. Wait for me.
Hey, Doctor. So,
Yes?
if we grab your uncle, you're liable to be coming down to the sanitarium on visiting days?
I don't know.
If you do, I'll be there.
Will? Oh.
And if you don't see me right away, don't give up. I'll show up. Well, you heard the doctor tell me to wait.
Yeah?
Well, I'll tell you what. There could use a sandwich and a cup of coffee.
Is Dr. Chumley there? Oh, it's Mrs. Chumley. Tell me, how are you tonight? Well, yes, that's fine. Tell me, Mrs. Chumley, were you able to locate Harvey? Well, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll find him. I'm sorry I missed you at the McClure cocktail party. The people there were all very lovely, and I was able to leave quite a few of my cards. Well, I waited until you rang and said you couldn't come because a patient had escaped. Where am I? Well, I'm here, but I'm leaving right away. I must find Harvey. Good night, Miss Chumley. My regards to you and anybody else you happen to run into. Good night to you, too.
Simmons.
Yes? Well, all right.
That picture on your mantle.
That portrait happens to be the pride of this house. Some man, I forget his name. He was around for the sittings, and then we paid him and he went away. Hello? Yes. No, this is Dexter, 1567.
Suppose if you have enough money to pay people, you can persuade them to do anything.
Well, Dr. Chumley, what did I say to you when you helped me out of that tub at your place?
Express yourself. I don't remember the words.
I said, Dr. Chumley, this is a belated civility. Isn't that right?
You said something of the sort.
If you brought this up, you might as well learn something about it. I took a course in art this last winter. The difference between a fine oil painting and a mechanical thing like a photograph is that a photograph shows only the reality. A painting shows not only the reality, but the dreams behind it. It's our dreams that keep us going, that separate us from the beasts. I wouldn't even want to live if I thought it was all just eating and sleeping and taking my clothes off and, well, putting them on and, doctor!
Steady now, it's all right. What's wrong?
Doctor, that is not my mother.
Glad to hear it.
Oh, Doctor, no, he's been here, he's been here.
Better be quiet. I'll get it. Hello? Yes. Mrs. Simmons, it's your brother.
Let me talk to him.
Don't tell him I'm here.
Hello, Elwood? Yes, dear. Where are you? What? Just a minute. He won't say where he is. He wants to know if Harvey is here.
Tell them Harvey is here.
But he isn't.
Tell them. Humor him. We have to.
Yes, Elwood? Yes, dear, Harvey is here. But why don't you come home? Oh, well, all right. It won't work. He wants me to call Harvey to the telephone.
Tell him Harvey is here, but he can't come to the telephone. Say he's in the bathtub.
Bathtub!
Say he's in the bathtub, and we'll send her right over.
Oh, doctor.
You've just got to do it, Mrs. Simmons.
Yes, Elwood. Yes, dear, Harvey is here, but he can't come to the phone right now. He's in the bathtub. We'll send him over as soon as he's dry. Why don't you come home? Where are you? Where, Elwood?
Did he hang up?
Harvey just walked in the door. Told me to look in the bathtub. It must be a stranger. I know where he is. He's at Charlie's place. That's a bar over at 12th and Main.
12th and Main, that's 2 blocks over and 1 down.
Doctor, where are you going?
I must bring your brother back to the sanitarium where he belongs.
Oh, don't do that. Send one of your attendants. I'm warning you.
Mrs. Simmons, if I'm to help your
He
brother...
can't be helped. There is no help for him. He must be picked up and locked up and left.
Consider your brother a dangerous man.
Dangerous.
Why?
I won't tell you why. But if I didn't, why would I be asking for a permanent commitment for him?
I must observe this man. I must see the look on his face as he talks to this rabbit. He does talk to the rabbit, you say?
They tell each other everything.
What's that?
I said, of course he talks to the rabbit. But don't go out there, doctor. You'll regret it if you do.
Nonsense. You underestimate me, Mrs. Simmons.
You underestimate my brother.
Don't worry, I can handle it.
You can handle it. That's what you think. Roommate, see who's in the bathtub?
Thank you.
Have this stuff in your room, doctor. Upstairs.
No, I'll have it. Thanks.
Shaver hit bounce. I exit for one of the grade.
Those are the breaks.
You taking off.
As soon as Dr. Chumley gets in.
Have you got the word that starts again?
Not yet. I was talking to Tom on the study.
Whole thing started to go off. It's funny that 4 hours he came on and not a word from him. Well, doctor, we may not see you again. So I wanted to say I wish you a lot of luck. It's a mighty shame you got kicked in the ass forever.
Excellent. Good luck to you, too.
And Kelly, let me know the word desk sergeant. If there's no sign of the doctor, I'm going in this town to look after him. There's no better than to doctor a patient without me.
I'd like to help look for the doctor, too, Wilson.
I'd swell you, doctor, especially after they gave you the rush.
I've no resentments towards Dr. Chumley. He was right, I was wrong. Chumley is the biggest man in this field. It's my loss not to be able to work with him.
You're not so smart yourself, doctor.
Thanks, Wilson.
Don't mention
There's a guy. The ice in these things. Good you?
Dr. Sanderson?
Yes?
Well, Doctor, I'd like to say that I wish you a lot of luck too, and I'm sorry to see you.
Are you sure you can spare these good wishes, Miss Kelly?
On second thought, I guess I can. Forget it.
Miss Kelly, this is for nothing. Just a little advice, but I'd be a little more careful about the kind of company I kept if I were you.
I beg your pardon, Doctor?
You don't have to. I told you it was free. I saw you Saturday night dancing with that drink in the Rose Room down at the Frontier Hotel.
Oh, did you? I didn't notice you. You really shouldn't have been in the
Thought Doctor was my date, of course, but she was beautiful though.
Who?
That girl you were with?
I thought you didn't notice.
You bumped into us twice, how the hell?
Not that it makes any difference to you, but that girl's a charming little lady. She has a sweet, kind disposition, and she knows how to conduct herself.
Funny she couldn't rate a better date on Saturday night.
And she has an excellent mind.
So why doesn't she use it?
Oh, I don't suppose you're to be censured for the flippant hard shell you have. You're probably compensated for something.
I am not. There's nothing to use any of psychiatry on me.
Fine, to try something else on you, just once. Just to see if you'd melt under any circumstances. I doubt it.
You'll never know, Doctor.
Because you interest me as a case history, that's all. I'd like to know where you get that inflated ego.
If you aren't the meanest person, inflated ego, case history?
Don't walk away, let's finish it.
Oh, leave me alone.
Gladly.
Chumley's rest.
Yes, Sergeant. No extra comment at the downtime of the subject. Look, Sergeant, maybe we better. Oh, never mind. Here now. Mr. Dowd.
Good evening, my dear. These are for you.
For me? Oh, thank you.
They're quite fresh, too. I just picked them outside.
I hope Dr. Chumley didn't see you. They're his prized dahlias. Did he go upstairs?
No, I cannot stay. Oh, those flowers look lovely against your hair.
I've never worn burnt orange. It's such a charming color.
You would improve any color, my dear.
Did Dr. Chumley go to his house?
I don't know. Where's Dr. Sanderson?
In his office there, I think.
Thank you.
Dad, there you are.
I've got a cab waiting outside. If it's possible for you and Miss Kelly to get away now.
Where is Dr. Chumley?
Is he coming with us?
I don't know, Doctor.
I must apologize for being a few seconds late. I thought Miss Kelly should have some flowers. After what happened out here this afternoon, Doctor, those flowers really should be from you. As you grow older and pretty women pass you by, you'll think with deep gratitude for these generous girls of your youth. Shall we go now?
Just a moment, Dad. The situation has changed since you left here this afternoon, but I heard you have no resentments. Dr. Chumley is your friend. He only wants to help you.
That's nice. I would like to help him too.
Well, if you'll begin by taking a cooperative attitude, that's half the battle. We all have to face reality now, sooner or later.
Doctor, I've wrestled with reality for 40 years, and I'm happy to state that I finally won out over it. Won't you and Miss Kelly come with me now down to Charlie's?
Here you are. Upstairs, buddy. Going upstairs. Is the doctor okay?
Well, there must be some mistake. Miss Kelly and Dr. Sanderson and I are going down to Charlie's to have a drink. I'd be glad to have you come with us, Mr. Wilson. They have a wonderful floor show.
Well, wait till you see the floor show we've got. Upstairs, buddy.
Just a minute, Mr. Dowd. Where did you say Dr. Chumley went?
Well, as I said, he did not confide his plans.
You mean the doctor ain't showed up yet?
No, not yet.
Where is he?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Mr. Dow walked in here by himself.
Did he, eh? Listen, you talk fast, or I'm working you over.
I'd rather you didn't do that. And I'd rather you didn't even mention such a thing in the presence of a lovely young lady like Miss Kelly.
Mr. Dowd, Dr. Chumley went to pick you up. That was 4 hours ago.
Where has the evening gone to?
Listen to that. Smart, eh?
Just a minute. You did see Dr. Chumley tonight, Dad.
Oh, yes, I did. He came into Charlie's place at dinner time. It is a cozy spot. Let's all go there now and talk it over with a tall one.
We're going no place. Now, if you don't button up your lip and give me some straight answers, I'm going to beat down you.
What you suggest is impossible.
What's that?
But you suggest that I button up my lip and give you some straight answers. It can't be done.
Find out where the doctor is.
Dr. Chumley did go into Charlie's place, you said?
But yes, he did. I was very glad to see him. He came in and asked for me, and naturally the proprietor brought him over and left him. We exchanged the conventional greetings. I said, "How do you do, Dr. Chumley?" He said, "How do you do, Mr. Dowd?" I believe we said that at least once.
Go on.
I'm trying to be factual. I then introduced him to Harvey.
To who?
A white rabbit 6 weeks old.
6 feet?
6 feet 1.5.
Okay. Fool around with him and the doctor probably someplace bleeding to death in a dick.
If those were his plans for the evening, he did not tell me.
Go on. Go on.
Dr. Chumley then sat down with us in the booth. I was seated on the outside, like this. Harvey was seated on the inside near the wall, and Dr. Chumley was seated directly across from Harvey, where he looked right at him.
That's what I spent all night on the seat arrangements.
Harvey then suggested that I buy him a drink, knowing that he does not like to drink alone. I suggested to Dr. Chumley that we join him.
And then?
We joined him.
So?
We joined him again.
And what?
We kept right on joining him.
Skip the joining!
Asking you to skip a large portion of the queue.
Tell us what the doctor is. Come on, please.
Dr. Chumley and Harvey got into a conversation, quietly at first. Later it became rather heated, and Dr. Chumley raised his voice.
Yeah, why?
Harvey seemed to feel that Dr. Chumley should assume part of the financial responsibility of the joint. But Dr. Chumley didn't seem to want to do that.
I could leave that part of it.
No talk. Still won't know. That's guts.
I agreed to take the whole thing because I did not want any trouble. We go there often, Harvey and I. It's a fine spot, and the proprietor's a fine man with an interesting approach to life. And then the other matter came up.
And double talking. Get on with it.
Mr. Wilson, you are a sincere type of person, but again, I must ask you not to use that language in the presence of Miss Kelly.
You're right, Dowd, and we apologize. You say the other matter came up?
Well, yes. There was this beautiful blonde woman, Mrs. Smathers, located with her escort in the booth directly across from her. But Dr. Chumley went over and sat next to her and explained to her that they had once met in Chicago. Her escort then escorted Dr. Chumley back to Harvey. But he tried to point out that he thought it would be best for Dr. Chumley if he minded his own affairs. But does he have any?
Does he have any what?
But does he have any affairs?
How would I know?
Please hurry, Mr. Dow. We're all sober.
Dr. Chumley then urged Harvey to go with him over to Blondie's Chicken Inn, but Harvey wanted to go to Eddie's instead. While they were arguing about it, I went over to the bar to order another drink. When I came back, well, they were gone.
So? You Satisfied? You got a story. You're lying, and we know it.
Oh, I never lie, Mr. Wilson.
You've done something with the document. I'm finding out what it is. Don't touch me, Wilson.
Maybe he isn't lying, Wilson.
Are you serious? That's all this guy is a bunch of lies.
Maybe
You don't seriously believe the story he tells why the doctor's sitting out talking to a big white rabbit, do you?
Maybe Dr. Chumley did go to Charlie's.
And saw a big rabbit, I suppose.
Why not? Harvey was there. Dr. Chumley seemed a little frightened of Harvey, but that gave way to admiration as the evening wore on. But the evening wore on. Well, that's a nice expression. And with your permission, I'll say it again. The evening wore on.
Next time I have your teeth down your throat!
Mr. Wilson, haven't you some old friends you can go and play with?
To know this guy! He could have come here with an ordinary case of DT. No. That's coming with a 6-foot rabbit!
Stimulating as all this is, I really must be getting downtown.
Charlie's place? Is Dr. Chumley in there now? He was there with Mr. Dowd earlier in the evening. What? Oh, don't bite my head off. My, that man. He said that Mr. Dowd was open at any time, but his friend was not.
Oh, well, that must be Mr. McNulty, the bartender. He thinks a lot of me. Now let's all go down there now and have a drink. Wait a minute.
Mr. Dowd,
Yes, my dear. May I hold your hand?
yes, if you'd like. Poor Mrs. Chumley is so worried. Something must have happened to them. Is there anything you can remember? Anything that's helped her, please?
For you, my dear, I would be willing to do anything. I would almost be willing to live my life again. Almost. But I told it all.
You're sure?
Oh, quite sure. But ask me again anyway, won't you? I like that warm tone you had in your voice just then.
So did I.
I must be getting down. I have things to do.
Mr. Dowd, what is it?
Well, Harvey and I, we sit in the bars and we have a drink or two, and we play the jukebox. Soon the faces of the other people turn toward mine and they smile. They're saying, "We don't know your name, mister, but you're a lovely fellow." Harvey and I warm ourselves in all these golden moments. They come over, they sit with us, they drink with us, they talk to us. They tell about the big, terrible things they have done, the big, wonderful things they will do, their hopes, their regrets, their loves, their hates, all very large. There's nobody ever brings anything small into a bar. And then I introduce them to Harvey, and he's bigger and grander than anything they could ever offer me. When they leave, well, they leave impressed. The same people seldom come back, but that's envy, my dear. There's a little bit of envy in the best of us. But too bad, isn't it?
How did you happen to call him Harvey?
Harvey is his name.
How do you know him?
That was a rather interesting coincidence, Doctor. One night, several years ago, I was walking down Fairfax Street between 18th and 19th. Do you know that block?
Yeah.
I just helped Ed Hickey into a taxi. Ed had been mixing his rye with his gin, and I felt he needed to convey. Well, as I was walking along the street, I heard this voice say, "Good evening, Mr. Dow." I turned, and there was this great white rabbit leaning against a lamppost. Well, I thought nothing of that, because when you've lived in a town as long as I have lived in this one, you get used to the fact that everybody knows your name. Naturally, of course, I went over to talk to him. He said, "Ed Hickey's a little spiff this evening, or could I be mistaken?" Well, of course, he was not mistaken. I think the world in all event that he was spiffed. Well, we kept chatting for a while, and eventually I said, "You have the advantage of me. You know my name, and I don't know yours." And right back at me, he said, "What name do you like?" Well, I didn't even have to think a minute. Harvey has always been my favorite name. So you know what I said? Well, I said Harvey. This is the interesting part of the whole thing. He said, "What a coincidence. My name happens to be Harvey."
Mr. Dow, What was your father's name?
John Frederick.
Mr. Dowd, when you were a child, you had a playmate, didn't you? Someone you were very fond of, whom you'd spend many happy, carefree hours.
Of course, Doctor. Didn't you?
Yes. What was his name?
Vern McElhinney. Did you happen to know the McElhinneys, Doctor?
No.
Oh, too bad. There were a lot of them. And they circulated. Wonderful people.
Think carefully, Dowd. Wasn't there someone, somewhere, sometime, whom you knew by the name of Harvey? Haven't you ever known anybody by that name?
No, Doctor. No. Maybe that's why I always had such hopes for it.
All right, listen, let's take Mr. Dowd upstairs.
I'm taking him nowhere. You made this your show, let him sit here ramble on, forget all about Dr. Chumley. Okay, fine. It's your show. You run it.
Come on, Mr. Dowd. Come on, Elwood.
Very well, Lyman. I'm afraid I won't be able to visit with you for very long. I promised Harvey I will take him to the floor show later.
Boy! Dr. Chumley, are you okay?
Okay? Of course I'm okay. I'm being followed. Lock the door.
Who's following you?
None of your business.
It's Harvey's job.
Wilson! Wilson!
How did you get out here, Doctor? I just saw you go in there.
I went out through the window. Wilson told me.
No, Doctor.
Get that man down. Out of here.
Yes, Doctor.
Don't leave me.
But you said...
Get Dunphy.
Yes, Doctor. Dunphy. Get that guy down his clothes and get him down here right away.
Don't leave me.
Just a minute, Doctor.
I need to speak with Dr. Chumley.
Judge Gaffney. Hi, Earl.
Hello.
Dr. Chumley, we need to talk. This thing is serious.
It certainly is.
More serious than you might suspect. Where can we go to talk?
Not in there.
Doctor delivered one in his office.
No, sir.
Then sit down, Dr. Chumley. Sit down, little man.
Sit down, Dr. Chumley. Sit down, little man. Don't go, Wilson. Don't leave me.
Now, Dr. Chumley, here are my notes. The facts. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can all hear you. Is that good?
Now, Dr. Chumley, have you ever considered that there might possibly be something like this around Harvey?
Of course there isn't, and anybody who thinks so is crazy. Don't look at me like that. There's something funny about me. I'm like my father's family. They're all dead.
Now, my client, the plaintiff, Mrs. V. Louise Simmons, on the morning of November 2nd, while standing in the kitchen of her own home, hearing her name called, turned to see a big white rabbit, Harvey. He was staring at her. Now, resenting the intrusion, my client made certain remarks and drove the creature from her home. He left.
What did she say to him?
My client was emphatic. The remarks are unimportant.
I want to know how you got this creature out of her sanitarium. I mean her home.
Tell him, Judge, it isn't a bit like Mother.
Quit stalling. Let's have it.
Well, she looked him dead in the eyes and said, in the heat of the moment, "To hell with you!"
To hell with you.
Yes, he left. But that's besides the point. The point is it perjury or something we can cope with? I'm asking for your opinion.
Ruthie, I've been looking all over for you.
Dr. Sanderson, I want you to disregard what I said this afternoon. I want you back on my staff. You're a very astute young man.
Oh, Lyman, did you hear?
Oh, baby!
Doctor, you just got to keep Uncle Elwood out here.
I want this sanitarium back to the way it was before that man came out here this afternoon.
I know what you mean.
Do?
Well, certainly. It gets on anyone's nerves the way Uncle Elwood knows what's going to happen before it happens. This morning, for instance, he told us that the macaroni's off rolls were dropped in on them unexpectedly tonight from Cleveland.
Did she?
Did she what?
On the road. Did she come just as Harvey said she would?
Oh, yes, and isn't it silly? Uncle Elwood says Harvey knows everything. Harvey tells him everything. How can he when there's no such thing as Harvey?
Say this sort of thing happens often?
Yes.
Fly specks. My life I've been living among fly specks while miracles have been leaning on lampposts on 18th and Fairfax.
Good, nobody here but people.
Well, they promised to bring him out here.
Well, good evening. I brought your Uncle Elwood's bathrobe. Well, what are you all doing just standing here? Doctor, be committing him.
Sit down, girl.
I will not sit down there.
How about you and I stepping out Saturday night?
And certainly not right away. I'm here.
I'm sorry.
Is everything settled?
It will be.
May I give an opinion?
Yes, do, by all means.
His opinion. Omar, he's the doctor I told you about.
Doc, it's my opinion that Elwood P. Dow is suffering from a third-degree hallucination, and the other party concerns the victim of our suggestion. I recommend shot formula number 977 for him and bed rest at home for him.
Do.
That's my diagnosis, Doctor. Mr. Dow will no longer see this rabbit after giving the injection. We've used hundreds of psychopathic cases.
Don't you call my brother a psychopathic case? There's never been anything like that in our family.
If you didn't think Uncle Elwood was a psychopathic case, why did you bring him out here?
Where else could I take him? I couldn't take him to jail, could I? Besides, this thing is not your uncle's fault. Why did Harvey have to bother Elwood in the first place? With the town full of people? Why did he have to speak to Elwood?
Stop putting your oar in. Keep your oar out. If this formula brings people back to reality, give it to them. That's where we want Elwood.
I'm not sure that the treatment would work in a case of this kind, Doctor.
It always has.
Harvey always follows Elwood home.
Does?
Yes. But if you give him this formula, Elwood won't see Harvey. Then when he comes to the door, I'll deal with him.
Mother, will you stop talking about Harvey as if there was such a thing?
By the way, you've got a lot to learn, and I hope you never learn it.
Shh, here he comes.
Good evening, everybody.
I brought your bathroom.
Oh, thank you, Vita.
Well, doctor, what are we going to do? We've got to do something.
Oh, yes, we must.
I should say so.
Yes, it's imperative.
Well, while we're all making up our minds, let us go down to Charlie's and have a drink.
You're all going anywhere, Elwood. You're staying here.
Yes, Uncle Elwood.
Stay here, son.
I plan to leave. You want me to stay. An element of conflict in any discussion is a good thing. It means everyone is taking part and nobody feels left out. I like that. Oh, how'd you get along with Harvey, Doctor?
We're waiting for your answer, doctor.
What?
What is your decision?
I must be alone with this man. Will you all step into the other room? I'll have my diagnosis shortly.
Don't hurry, doctor.
I will.
You stay here, Elwood.
Sit down, Mr. Dowd. Let me get you a chair. Is there anything else I can get you?
Oh, what do you have in mind?
Mr. Dowd, what kind of man are you? Where do you come from?
Didn't I give you one of my cards?
Where on the face of this entire world could you find a thing like him?
Well, Harvey the Puka
Is it true that he has a function? That he...
gets advance notice. Well, I'm happy to say that it is. Harvey is versatile. Harvey can stop clocks.
What?
You've heard that expression, no? His face would stop a clock.
Yes, but why? To what purpose?
Harvey says that he can look at your clock and stop it. And you can go away as long as you like, for however long you like, with whomever you like, wherever you like. And when you come back, Not 1 minute will have ticked by.
Meaning actually,
Einstein has overcome time and space. Harvey has overcome time and space. And any objections?
does he do this for you?
He is willing to at any time, but so far I've never been able to think of any place I'd rather be. I always have a wonderful time right where I'm with whomever I'm having a fine time right now with you, Doctor.
You know where I'd go?
Where?
Go to Akron.
Akron.
Cottage camp just outside of Akron. A grove of maple trees. Cool, green, beautiful.
That's my favorite tree.
I'd go there with a beautiful young woman. Strange woman. Quiet woman.
Under a tree?
I'd talk to her. Tell her things I've never told anyone. Things locked up in here. And I'd send out for cold beer.
No whiskey?
Beer is better.
Maybe under a tree, but she might like a highball.
Wouldn't want her to talk to me, but as I spoke, I would want her to stroke my head and say, poor dear. Oh, you poor, poor dear.
How long would you like that to go on?
2 weeks.
Wouldn't that get monotonous? Just cold beer, Akron, and poor dear for 2 weeks?
No. No, it would not. It would be wonderful.
I can't help but feel you're making a mistake in not allowing that woman to talk. If she gets around at all, she may have picked up some interesting little news items. And I'm sure you're making a mistake in all that cold beer and no whiskey. But it's your 2 weeks.
Cold beer and Akron and one last fling. God, man.
Dr. Chumley, do you think you'd like to lie down for a while?
No, I would not. Tell me, Dowd, would he do this for me?
Well, he could and he might. I've never heard Harvey say a word against Akron. By the way, Doctor, where is Harvey?
Why? Don't you know?
The last time I saw him, he was with you.
Ah,
Oh, he must be waiting for me down in Charlie's.
that's it. He's down at Charlie's.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Don't go that way, Mr. Dowd.
I couldn't leave without saying goodbye to my friend, Dr. Sanders.
Mr. Dowd, Dr. Sanderson is not your friend. None of these people are your friend. I am your friend.
Well, thank you, Doctor, and I'm yours.
And your sister is at the root of this conspiracy against you. She's trying to persuade me to have you committed. She's got your power of attorney and the key to your safety box. She came down here today to...
My sister did all that in one afternoon? Fine. That Vita certainly is a whirlwind, isn't she?
God, man. Where's your sense of righteous indignation?
Doctor, my mother used to say to me, in this world, Elwood, she always called me Elwood. She'd say, in this world, Elwood, you must be oh so smart or oh so pleasant. Well, for years I was smart. I recommend pleasant. You may quote me.
Just the same. I will protect you if I have to commit you. Would you like me to do that?
No, Doctor. Not unless Vita wanted it that way. Oh, not that you don't have a nice place out here, but I think Vita would be much happier at home with me and Harvey. Miss Kelly. Diviner grace has never brightened this enchanting face. Of its fifth elegy. My dear, you will never look lovelier.
I'll never feel happier, Mr. Dowd. I know it.
Well,
Yes, Doctor.
I wonder if I would be able to remember any more of that poem.
Say, maybe this rabbit gang's a good one. You know, just me.
Ovid has always been my favorite poet.
Okay, Dowd, you're discharged.
Wilson, get your hands off Mr. Dowd.
What?
Apologize to Mr. Dowd.
Him, the guy with the rabbit.
Apologize. Apologize.
I apologize. This is the door.
If I leave, I'll remember.
Mr. Dowd, do women often come up to you and kiss you, as Miss Kelly did just now?
Every once in a while.
Oh.
I encourage it too.
Help with decency. Got to have this rabbit.
Dr. Sanderson, I couldn't leave without saying
Just a minute
goodbye.
now. Doctor, do you agree with my diagnosis?
Yes, send them all in.
Thank you, Doctor. Mrs. Simmons, Judge Gaffney, will you step in here for a moment, please?
Oh, is it settled?
I find I concur with Dr. Sanderson.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a relief.
Good boy.
Let's celebrate. I've got some new bars listed in the back of this here book.
This treatment pairs a violent reaction. You will need his consent to administer it. Will you give it?
Of course he will if I ask him.
Give up this rabbit. I doubt
Don't ask him. Just give it to him.
Blondie's chicken in, Bessie's barn down. Better late than never. But Benny's driving.
Elwood.
We'll go to Benny's driving. We should telephone for a table. How many of us will there be, Vita?
Oh, Elwood.
it. Mr. Dowd, I have a formula, 977. It will be good for you. Will you take it?
You won't be able to see Miss Rabbit anymore.
But you will see your responsibilities, your duties.
I'm sure if you thought of it, Doctor, it must be a very fine thing. And I'd be happy to recommend it to anyone who might need it. Well, for myself, I wouldn't much care for it.
Hear that, Judge? Hear that, Doctor? That's what we have to put up with.
Vita, do you want me to take this?
Elwood, I'm only thinking of you. You're my brother, and I've known you for years. I'd do anything for you. That Harvey wouldn't do anything for you. He's making a fool out of you, Elwood. Don't be a fool.
No, I won't.
Why, you could amount to something. You could be sitting on the Western Slope waterboard right now if you'd only go over and ask them.
All right, Vita. If that's what you want, Harvey and I will go over and ask them tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I never want to see about it tomorrow. Not if Myrtle May and I have to live with that rabbit. Our friends never come to see us. We have no social life. We have no life at all. We're both miserable. But maybe you don't care.
I've always felt that Vita should have everything she wants. Vita, are you sure? I'll take it. Where do I go, Doctor?
Dr. Sanderson's office, Dowd.
Say goodbye to the old fellow for me, won't you?
Now, Dr. Sanderson, how long will this injection take?
Oh, it'll only be a few minutes. Why don't you wait?
We'll wait.
Dr. Sanderson said it wouldn't take long.
Now, Mother, don't bitch.
But how can I help it?
Coming. What do you want?
I'm looking for a little short... Oh, there you are. Lady jumped out of the cab without paying me.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Now, how much is it?
All the way up here from town, $2.75.
$2.75. I could have sworn I brought my coin purse. Where is it? Myrtle, do you have any money?
Oh, I used that money Uncle Elwood gave me for my new hairdo for the party.
Judge, do you have $2.75 I could give this man?
Sorry, all I've got is a check.
We don't take checks.
I know.
Dr. Chumley, do you happen to have $2.75 I could borrow to pay this cab driver?
Haven't got my wallet on me. Have to get on with this injection, sorry.
Well, I'll get a few for my brother, but I can't get it right now. He's in there to get an injection. It won't be long. We'll have to leave.
You're gonna get my money from your brother who's in there to get some of the stuff they should have here?
Yes, it will be but a few minutes.
Lady, I want my money now.
But I told you it would only be a few minutes. I want you to drive us back to town anyway.
And I told you I want my money now, or I'm nosing the cab back to town, and you can wait for the bus at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, all the pig-headed, stubborn thing.
I should say so.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing that $2.75 won't fix. You heard me. Take it or leave it.
I never heard of anything so unreasonable in my life. Dr. Chumley, would you let Elwood step out for a moment? This cab driver won't wait. Elwood, I come off on my coin purse. Would you give this man $2.75? Don't give him any more. He's been very rude.
How do you do? Down is my name. Elwood Key.
EJ's mine. Lothbridge.
Oh, what? This is my sister, Mrs. Simmons. My charming little niece, Myrtle May Simmons. Judge Gaffney. And Dr. Chumley.
Hi.
Have you lived around here long, Mr. Lothbridge?
Yeah, all my life.
enjoy your work?
It's okay. I've been driving for Apex cabs for around 15 years now, and my brother Joe's been driving for Brown cabs pretty near 12.
You drive for Apex and your brother Joe for Brown. Well, that's interesting, isn't it, Vita? Mr. Lofgren, let me give you one of my cards.
Better get on with it, Dow.
Certainly. 1 minute. My sister and my charming little niece live with me here at this address. Won't you and your brother come and join us for dinner sometime?
Sure, be glad to.
When? When would you be glad to?
I can't come any night but Tuesday. I'm working over the rest of the week.
Well, you must come on Tuesday then. We'll expect you and be delighted to see you, won't we, Vita?
Elwood, I'm sure this man has friends of his own.
Vita, one certainly can't have too many friends.
Elwood, don't keep Dr. Chumley waiting. That's rude.
Of course. Mr. Lofgren, let me give you your change. Keep the change. We'll expect you and your brother on Tuesday. Will you excuse me now?
Sure. Sweet guy.
Oh, certainly. You could just as well have waited.
Oh no, listen lady, I've been driving this route for 15 years. I take them up to get the injection and back. It changes them.
I certainly hope so.
And you aren't kidding. On the way there, we sit back and enjoy the ride. We watch the sunsets and the birds flying. Sometimes we watch the birds flying when there ain't no birds flying, and we watch the sunsets when it's raining. We always have a swell time and always get a big tip. But afterward, oh,
Afterward, what do you mean? Afterward,
well, they crab. They tell me to watch the lights, watch the brakes, watch the intersections. They got no faith in me or my buggy. Yet it's the same cab, same driver. We're going down the very same old road. It's no fun and never get a tip.
But my brother would have tipped you anyway. He's very generous. Always has been.
Not after this, he won't be. Lady, after this, he'll be a perfectly normal human being, and we know what bastards they are. Glad I met you. I'll wait.
George Gaffney, Myrtle May, stop it! Stop it! Don't give it to him! Elwood, come out of there!
You can't do that. Dr. Chumley's giving the injection.
Mother, stop this!
Don't want Elwood that way. I don't like people like that.
Just do something. Would you rather stop it?
You shut up! I've lived longer than you have. I remember my father. I remember your father. I remember...
What's all this commotion?
You started off again, Doctor?
She wants to stop the injection.
Well, you haven't already given it to him, have you?
No, but we're ready. Wilson, escort Mrs. Simmons out of here.
Oh, leave me alone! Take your hands off me!
You don't know what you want. You didn't want that rabbit either.
And what's wrong with Harvey? If Elwood and Myrtle May and I want to live with Harvey, it's nothing to you. You don't even have to come around. It's our business. Elwood! Elwood!
There, Vita. Vita is all tired out. She's done a lot today.
It's fine. Have it your way. But I'm not coming back here for my game down the club, no matter how big the animal is.
Come on, Elwood. Let's get out of this place. I hate it. I wish I'd never seen it.
See here. But it's whatever Vita says, Doctor.
That's funny. That's my coin purse. You must have been here the whole time. I could have paid that cab driver myself. Harvey. Come on, Myrtle May. Come on, Elwood, hurry up.
Good night, Dr. Chumley. Good night, Mr. Wilson.
Come along, Elwood.
Doctor, for years I've known what my family thinks of Harvey, but I've often wondered what Harvey's family thinks of me. Oh, there you are. Excuse me, Doctor. You're standing in this way. Where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.
eyes are mighty red. Yes, best guy